Hey guys, thanks for listening to the third episode of the Beggars Canyon Boys, where I'm taking Ryan through the entire history of Star Wars. We are joined today by a very special guest, my good friend Connor, and we're going to be talking about the holiday special as well as some more of the comics that came out before The Empire Strikes Back, which will be our next episode, a big one. So, thanks for listening and stay tuned for that. All right, welcome everybody. As always, we've got myself, Jackson here, and I'm joined today by our Padawan learner Ryan, being exposed piece by piece to the amazing universe of Star Wars, and this is our third venture into all the sort of chronologically released Star Wars material. Not literally everything, but a lot of it. And today we watched the infamous holiday special, and we're joined by a very special guest today as well, Connor, who watched it with us. A Star Wars fan, I think it's fair to say.
Happy Life Day, everyone.
Yeah, we are recording this on Life Day also.
We're all wearing our red robes as well, so we can truly connect with the Wookiee consciousness.
Yeah, so I think we're all kind of a little stunned by it. Well, there's not much background to it, but I've seen this once before, but it had been a few years, so I didn't really remember some of the details of it, but it was certainly pretty wild. Yeah, how do you guys feel about it?
Well, it was my first time watching it, and as you know, and there's a lot going on in there. I don't really know how to break it down in my head because so much weird stuff happened, and none of it really related to the first movie that we watched. I will say, if I don't know how effective this method that we're doing for the podcast is going to be to get me to be a Star Wars fan, because just consuming the media as it has come out, we had the first movie, which I was kind of lukewarm on, and then the comics, which I like the adaptation ones, but stuff after that was a lot more rough. And then which was also very, very rough. So
it's
we're in the red.
Yeah, I know. It's strategical, so you'll be kind of, oh, maybe I could be like this. Oh, I think this is terrible, and then hopefully we'll swing back hard the other way.
It's all got the potential to be really cool. It's all there. I see the pieces, but they just haven't come together in the right way yet.
It worked for a lot of people, though. A lot of lifelong fans, after watching that, still stuck with it.
I think that's crazy that you'd be anxiously waiting for more Star Wars content, and that's the morsel you're given.
Yeah, I'd be pretty pissed.
Hopefully, people still could understand at the time that, okay, this is just like a shitty TV thing, and the next movie, that's what'll actually be something to look forward to.
Yeah, in their benefit, too. It's I'm assuming it isn't as similar as it is today, where, if Star Wars released a holiday special, everyone would go instantly have access to watch it pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I assume a lot of hardcore fans still weren't able to catch that on television.
Right.
Yeah, I that was why they were so animate about, I feel trying to erase it from the collective memory, because they had the ability to, because probably a lot of people did not see it at all, and saved their fandom for a little bit.
And I don't think it ever aired again on TV.
Oh, no.
And I'm pretty sure there was a limited VHS release of it a few years later. But, not super mass produced, pretty rare to... if you're familiar with the White and Nerdy music video, Weird Al's White and Nerdy music video, towards the end, there's a piece where he's doing a drug deal in the alleyway, and the drug dealer gives him a paper bag, and he's got the VHS of the Star Wars Holiday Special in there.
Okay.
That's kind of, it's a legendary rare item.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it worth?
I don't know.
Probably not unreasonably large amount of money. I mean, like a physical copy, because like,
What would you guess? We were playing this game with Pez dispensers the other day.
like currently, what would it go for?
Yeah.
I'm looking it up right now.
Because I say over 1,000.
Really? Yeah. I was gonna say like 500 to 700. I'll say 600 just to
Okay.
split the difference there.
It does seem like a little more reasonable, but I'm adding a Star Wars like inflation tax, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if this is actually attributed to George Lucas, but there was a quote that was going around that was like, if I could smash every one of those like VHS copies with an axe, I would do it.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I just read that as you said that. So I was wrong. Apparently, there has never been an official release on video.
Oh,
But-
so it's priceless.
A lot of bootleg VHS copies have been passed around. I was finding they go for about $50.
Well, bootleg, yeah.
Right.
Of course.
But yeah, George Lucas said if I had the time and a sledgehammer, I'd track down
That's-
every bootleg copy of that program and smash it.
Yeah, this doesn't align though, because I feel like when we watched that documentary on the making of the first movie, one of the things that or maybe it was a news broadcast or something that we had like watched, it seemed like George Lucas really was worried about like executive hands getting on Star Wars and like corrupting in any way. So clearly he must, and this is early on, so he must have been like seal of approval to what we just watched.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, they weren't happy with it when they saw it, but they were just like, whatever, fine.
Go there and go away.
Yeah, like we'll just like not care about this. But it was George Lucas's idea and his thing of like, do whatever you want, but it has to be about Chewbacca getting home to his family. And we have to introduce the planet of Kashyyyk.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say like Kasuk or something.
Are we gonna go back there at some point?
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Not well. Yeah, I won't say anything honestly. Maybe
Well,
we'll go back to that very house.
Theoretically, if we do go back there, is the planet name at least going to be the same, or are they going to like change? Does the lore that was introduced in this, is that like locked into place, or is it kind of fluid lore at the moment?
Well, they pronounced the name of the planet wrong, but even at the time, George Lucas was calling it Kashyyyk, the planet, and it does stay called that throughout canon.
So
Alright.
that guy was just wrong, and he said Kasuk.
Yeah.
Well, there was a weird PSA after as well. So.
Yeah,
He got a lot of work in that little special.
that purple background. Yeah, well, I guess the only like background info that I know to say about it is that like that was just kind of a popular format on TV at the time, like a variety show type thing.
Could have been fun.
Yeah. A framing device of like going back to the house and the family and then making up excuses to watch little comedy sketches and musical acts.
Yeah.
Which like in theory, okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know why we would do that with Star Wars. Well, probably just because it's popular and people would watch it.
Just feels like a lot of the things weren't related to Star Wars, though, or even like
No.
space. Yeah, because I guess like at this point, Star Wars is only defined by that first movie and like what you can pull from there.
Yeah.
But still, it was just like not even really space stuff. It was just weird human stuff.
Yeah. I guess we should crack it open and go through some of the segments.
Can I say a positive about it first?
Yeah,
Like,
sure. Yeah.
My positive takeaway was
Compliment sandwich.
the thing that I thought was coolest was the animated portion, but not really the story or anything, but the planet they were on. That planet
Yes.
was cool, I thought. It was a unique, like, sci-fi planet. You don't always see,
Yeah.
like, liquid, viscous-based planet that is not water.
Right.
That was only in the animation budget. They're not going there
Yeah.
in real life.
But some of the designs and things going on in the cartoon looked pretty cool, I thought. And yeah, he told him, the company that animated that, George Lucas, was like, make it look like Mobius comics, like the French artist
Oh.
Mobius.
Oh, okay.
Did he draw really long faces?
Yeah, and that color palette and stuff too.
Yeah.
And that like sort of like bubbly city that they go to, that's very much in that vein, I think. Yeah, so the plot is of this awesome thing is that Chewbacca has to get home for Life Day. It's Life Day and he's late, and his family's worried. We actually have Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford's in it more than the other two.
Yeah.
But still not that much though.
And honestly, still just another wooden performance.
Okay,
in my
but
opinion.
what's he supposed to do in this?
But here's the crazy thing. I don't see so much of a difference from what he did in this, from how he delivered the lines in the first movie.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
All right.
You know, I really care about you and your family, Chewbacca.
I mean, yeah, that's just a really tough one to like say, especially with the tone that his character always has. Like, he's never genuine, and he's only genuine the entire time he talks. That's just like whiplash. But I guess on Life Day you have to be kind of nice.
Yeah, maybe.
It's a day of peace and harmony.
I don't really understand why they take a while to get to Kashyyyk. I mean, I know they're running away from Star Destroyers like right at the beginning, but then after that, they don't seem to have any problems flying back. But yeah, I mean, no need to bury the lead. If you haven't seen it, the majority of this is focused on Chewbacca's family chilling at their house on Kashyyyk. His son, Lumpy, his wife, Mala, and his dad, Itchy. Great new additions to the Star Wars world.
Yeah, these characters came before Yoda. That's insane to me.
Yeah.
Itchy existed before Yoda.
Uh-huh. And is cooler. Itchy in particular is just so awful looking. Like the lower lip and teeth thing that he has going on is crazy.
He looks like he's been left under someone's bed for like a decade, and then he crawled out and just like is walking around like that.
And he's probably like 400 years old.
He's probably seen some crazy things, honestly.
Like humans, when you get old, your hair goes white, so that's why he was white.
Yeah. Yeah. Lumpy's great too. Lumpy.
Oh yeah. Lumpy has like the first like 10 minutes after they get to his house is just Lumpy making noise and running around.
I mean, every kid understands the being forced to do chores and the sounds that it elicits when you're stopped from watching the circus and forced to wipe down your plate.
I guess that's like some of the main conflict at the beginning is Lumpy's mom is telling him to do chores.
He really doesn't want to take out the trash.
Yeah. She's honking at him. They're honking at each other.
And then him and his grandpa watch holographic circus on the chessboard.
Yeah, to distract him from the fact that his father's still not home for Life Day.
Oh yeah, that's why. Because they're all kind of getting a little antsy and worried.
But he's been home for every Life Day, so
yeah, he's 100 for 100 on Life Day. Starts appearances.
Yeah, well, I mean, Itchy probably raised him in a Life Day household, and then he's passing that on to his son.
Mala wasn't raised that way, but
she's a good sport though. She's trying to cook the bantha rump roast.
They said Happy Holidays instead of Happy Life Day in her household. When
right. It's like I don't care enough to like fight on it. It's not.
I was never like that intense on my beliefs anyway. But if it means a lot to Chewbacca, then
and it seems to.
It really does. Yeah, they call Luke on the TV, but they do have a very like human like portrait photo of Chewbacca on the shelf as well in the house.
But they really wield it as a prop very often.
Yeah,
so it's like always. All right, this is who's missing. By the way,
whenever I look at this, I get sad.
He's not home yet. But he will be in like 45 minutes, so it's
You
okay.
gotta bear with them, definitely, through music.
Yeah, we've got Mark Hamill coming in on the FaceTime call TV. He's chilling with R2, and they're repairing an engine, and he's wearing his Rebel pilot uniform.
And his rebel teen eyeliner.
Yes.
Yeah. He looked like a villain.
He really did. He had thin, like, black eyeliner around his eyes, and his hair was also very, like, matted down on his bangs. I just recently on the internet saw like a side by side of how he looks in the first movie versus how he looks in the special, and it's like very scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A very menacing fake concern for his friends who it really seems like he's saying
Chewbacca hasn't returned home yet.
It's interesting.
Well, I don't know what could have happened.
Show me that smile, Mala.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she obliges.
And then it's just her mouth opening like a crack.
Yeah. We can't really get the suit to smile.
So, like, then why would you have
Yeah.
that in the script of him saying smile?
Yeah. And I think he's quite literally like, that's good enough.
Yeah. I'll
All
take
right.
it. I mean, that's not really a smile. Holy moly.
Holy blasters.
Truly.
Yeah. Luke doesn't inspire too much confidence in them, and they stay worried. And I think this is maybe when she tunes in. Well, they use like this big computer that's a different screen that apparently they can do FaceTime on as well.
A lot of screens.
Wasn't it the 3D chessboard that
Oh,
they watched he comforts his grandson with a performance by the circus crew.
yeah, I think the circus crew is after Luke with the Munn brothers, and I'm assuming real circus performers because they're doing like some slightly complicated acrobatics and things. on that.
For some reason.
There's a crazy song playing too.
Yeah. Wow. That, like I said, when a lot of moments in this, like I just felt like I was in a dream, and that is one of the moments.
Mhm.
I'm just like, what is happening on screen right now?
And
Because,
just
like a dream, they'll just focus in on something for like 5 or 10 minutes as if it has the same weight as the story. When you're like, what? Why am I watching this?
well, this is
Yeah.
what's happening now. And especially when they just keep cutting to like Lumpy's face with the music playing, and he keeps clapping and stuff. And
He loves
everything.
it.
His disgusting tiny teeth.
Yeah. Oh man. And the way his lips moved was so gross
Yeah.
too.
He's got all the baby teeth. Like, he's got so many baby teeth on just like a bottom row.
Uh-huh. Well, yeah, the other Wookiees have like fangs and stuff, but he's got little baby.
So
Yeah.
gross. God, I don't like Wookiees at all.
I think he was literally going through puberty because at some point, well, I won't say who, I won't spoil the ending as yet, but some character comments on how his voice is changing, and it is whatever it's stuck in right now at the time of this filming is a horrible octave.
It's like a honking goose.
Yeah,
Like-
like a pig being slaughtered, like just like really tough to listen to.
No Wookiee noise is like easy for me to listen to.
No,
though,
and this
frankly.
is like 80% Wookiee noise.
Yeah.
dialogue.
I was gonna say it's a bit of a spoiler, just saying that someone says a sentence because they're like 75%. Well, that might be overestimating, but a really solid chunk of this is just Wookiee sounds with no subtitles, and then having full conversations with Wookiee noises.
Yeah. No,
Well,
dude,
Eating
It's a whole
cookies.
That's like our home base too. It's like we'll always go back to that. As if it's like it's supposed to be comforting. It's
Like,
the
let's reflect on what happened. Let's all
Oh.
get back in touch.
I was missing these guys.
Yeah. All right, back to the nails on chalkboard family.
Jesus Christ. The first thing we see, oh yeah, whatever. The first like real segment that we have outside of this is like Mala uses another computer that's like a bigger computer to read this thing that says there's no starships in the area. Oh, so I guess in order to like get information about that, she calls her friend who is this is Art Carney.
At the trading post.
Yeah, he's a what's his name? Like Son
Tim?
He's just a trader. He's just a
Son
merchant.
yeah Sondan.
Sondan.
He's famous from The Honeymooners and the Jackie Gleason show. He's on like fucking 200 episodes of those shows that are like what late 50s shows, I think. Yeah.
And he seemed pretty like critical, so I assume he comes back for the Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, he's one of the main new players in the rest of the saga.
Taught Han everything he knows about smuggling.
So this is like a funny, really funny like sketch going on. At first she calls in and it's like, no, eventually he does talk to her directly, but at first he's just trying to sell an Imperial officer some stuff.
Talking a fuck ton. Like he never stops talking. The whole time. He's just
Yeah, and it is like probably the next main character after Chewbacca's
Which
family.
is crazy.
Yeah.
It's insane.
He's in it quite a
damn.
lot.
He does kind of become their like voice piece
Yeah.
when they get when stuff
you
happens
do have
later
to
on.
talk to the officer. They can't understand.
Yeah, so he's selling the Imperial guy like we're trying to sell him like a miniature
It's a
aquarium. Yeah.
Yeah, stupid Wookiees love this stuff.
Buy this stuff off me all the time. That's kind of him playing both sides as we find out that he does remain neutral and effective.
Yeah, he's trying to get Imperial guys to like him. So he doesn't.
Stupid Wookiees.
Wookiees buy mini aquariums.
Then he gets her on the phone and he's like, "Oh, Mala, don't worry, that shag carpet you ordered is on its way."
A lady 3 planets over made it by hand. Solo.
Man, so much happened in this that I'm forgetting about all the stupid beginning stuff.
Yeah, they have to set up the drama, the tension.
But that was the cutaway that really had the most to do with the main story.
Mm-hmm.
The officer took something too. What did he end up taking?
You
from
took the
story?
mini groomer.
Mini groomer. It was
Oh,
like
right.
a little toothbrush computer.
Yeah.
Comes here, brushes teeth, brother. Reads it to.
I'll be taking that.
Well, you can buy it or you can trade something for it. I said.
I was gonna embarrass you by asking if you wanted it as a gift. I don't like embarrassing people. I guess I don't like being embarrassed myself. What the fuck is going on?
Well, he's being funny. He's
Pretty
kinda,
spot on delivery of it too. I mean, like,
Yeah.
that's what he does. And you're just stunned
The
watching.
camera just hangs on him.
can read you all 19 volumes of the Imperial Penal Code faster than the last
The
model.
E2F model.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
True, just exhausting stuff to watch.
Yeah. So that was like good and fun.
Yeah. That was the first beat, and then I'm pretty sure it goes pretty quickly into Mala trying to cook her life day meal, which was
Oh, also excruciating.
yeah. They go in on the computer on another computer,
The kitchen computer.
the TV, really.
Kind of our vessels to get to the sketches.
Yes, yeah. There are many different TVs, computer screens, holographic projectors, virtual reality, lots of things.
Oh yeah, one in particular. Virtual reality.
So this guy is Harvey Korman, who was like a legendary sketch performer on the Carol Burnett show, and also the mayor, Hedley Lamar in Blazing Saddles, if you guys know that. That did come out before this, so
He's established.
he would he's doing like a Julia Child parody, I guess, of a TV cooking thing, in some pretty questionable makeup, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty odd. I almost was like, are they trying to make him be like a bronze type robot thing or something? But I don't know.
He is an alien.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do learn that.
Because, like, really the only joke that happens in the whole thing is that he busts a third and fourth arm out to, like, do more steps and stop himself from sneezing.
Yeah. Really bad. Just, like, not fun to watch at all, also.
No, that there are many parts in this that are just, like, auditorily so hard to like sit through. Many times that happens.
Yeah.
It's not just the Wookiee noises.
And like they are long sketches too. It's like the nuts part. It'll be like it feels like 10 minutes. Probably around like the 6-minute mark. I don't know.
Way too long though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Connor, any thoughts on the cooking segment? Did you like it?
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
Big fan.
I mean,
Learned a thing or two.
certainly thorough. They didn't really skip any steps.
No?
And yeah, I mean, it is just like another example of like how completely like jarring every part of this is, because like it immediately is followed by like a like sexy song, and it's just really confusing to like figure out what I get. It's like playing in the kitchen, yeah, or like in the living room while everyone's sitting around after the holiday dinner, but
It's Star Wars.
it's Star Wars. I just don't know who it's for.
Well, it's for the whole family because, you know, we've obviously got a vessel for each person watching. We've got, you know...
Lumpy, the 30-year-old.
Yeah, and, yeah, Lumpy could be 30 years old because of the Wookiee's lifespan.
Yeah.
But you've obviously got the person for the kids to relate to. All the kids really loved Lumpy when he came out.
Kids love Lumpy.
Yeah. The moms watching, you know, this is like the family TV gathering. The moms can relate to Mala. Oh, a cooking part for me. Oh, I love Julia Child. This is funny.
Plus your kid not wanting to do chores. I mean, that's a
That's
thing
very
modern
relatable.
moms have to deal with all the time.
Mm-hmm. And then, you know, we've got something sexy for the dads, too. For any grandpas
Grandpa.
watching.
Or uncle, whatever.
Yeah, really captured like the creepy uncle vibe with Itchy, huh?
Because pretty soon after the cooking part, which is just excruciating, they talk to Leia, Carrie Fisher, and she's hanging out with C-3PO. It's essentially the same exact conversation that they had with Luke.
Feels like they're just obligated to make their appearances.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
like pop out for the sketches.
And then Son Dan, I keep forgetting his name. Yeah.
He's just a traitor.
Yeah. He's harmless. He shows up with Life Day presents for everyone. He gives each of the 3 family members presents. And we quickly go to Itchy's present, which is like a VR chair headset that looks like those things at hair salons that you put over your head. And he's transported into a kaleidoscopic, psychedelic, sexy song.
Yeah, with his like own personal fantasy woman in it.
Yeah.
Which they make a point to tell us.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, this is all manufactured inside his head and mapped out onto a program, a sophisticated one, but he's in control of the fantasy, and he's got some good taste.
Yeah,
Some
this,
anti-species taste. He doesn't like his own kind.
yeah, he's not a Wookiee guy.
his fantasy woman is a human. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a long preamble to the song. I mean, as you've alluded to, by the woman is Diane Carroll, another like very famous TV actor and singer, and she was in the show Julia and played Claudine in the movie Claudine. So these were all like extremely popular TV performers doing this. She kind of gives like a little sexy like foreplay talk to Itchy about like, oh, like I want to make you feel good and stuff.
It's crazy. It's like truly the prologue to the song is just like it almost is just explaining to the viewer like, hey, this is his fantasy. Like she's purely from his mind. She wants him to feel good. Like that's what she's all about.
She thinks he's cute.
And it's like now that we all know that,
Yeah.
now she can sing. It's like okay.
Right. Yeah, he keeps rewinding the part that is her calling him adorable.
Yeah.
I can't really remember how the song goes. Not like I was going to sing it or anything.
I liked it.
I was going to say, even though I can't remember how it
You should
goes,
still try.
I'm going to try to sing it. I think it was by far the best song.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
interesting.
Yes.
Like, visually from a visual interest standpoint and the song itself.
It was at least like a musical theater song, which no hate to all musical theater songs, but these were all bad musical theater songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is sad actually too, because that one is like at least interesting to watch, and then the other ones they just
You
really
dog.
don't deliver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, interesting to watch, quote unquote.
What?
So sexy.
Yeah. Okay. You know,
Yeah, like
I
when
feel
there were
like
multiple versions of her all at once, like
Yeah.
popping on screen.
Enough for everyone, all of us.
grasping at anything to like think positively about this, but maybe some of those like kaleidoscopic visuals in the VR were a little cool
Hey, there was a
Maybe.
compared to the other things.
it was an attack on your senses with like visual and audio, so but in a less intrusive way than the rest of the sketches and stuff. So
I don't know what the state of like movie graphics was in 1978, but I feel like that would still be kind of like low budget.
Oh, sure.
At least the green screening them into the kaleidoscope.
Yeah, and I mean this whole thing.
well, it's
Pretty
just Itchy's fantasy. Also.
Right,
Let's keep
sure.
that in mind.
Yeah,
He didn't
yeah.
have a big fantasy. He's not a complicated guy.
I don't need it to fool me. I know what I'm doing.
He just wants a beautiful woman singing in a kaleidoscope.
I'll trip the hell out and come.
And her hair is the same material as her dress.
Yes.
That's important.
Yeah, he doesn't like, touch himself or anything, thankfully. But
Yeah.
in my memory, before we watched this again, not like I thought he started like jerking off, but he is making like some faces and noises during this. I guess they're just Wookiee noises, but obviously in the context of that, like he's horny, he's getting horny.
For sure.
And in my memory, which I'm glad I was wrong about, but in my memory, the sexy song happened on the chess table, and Itchy and Lumpy watch it together, and like Itchy's getting horny, and Lumpy's like, "Hey, stop it!" And he's like, "Shut up, grandson. I'm trying to get
rock.
horny."
Gotcha. So that's like what your fantasy.
Yeah,
is.
that's what I wish had happened.
That's what
in
you've
it.
seen in your
Him and the
kaleidoscope.
Oculus, Oculus Rift.
Yes.
No, yeah, that would have made it like even stranger than it already was.
But they also were not like subtle about it at all. Like Sondan, what is his name? Ron Dan.
Sondan.
Just a traitor.
Just a traitor. He just traded him and explained to him that wow, these are gonna be some hot images in here. So be ready.
Oh yeah, like I forgot how he set it up in a way that it's like definitely intended
He's
to
like
be,
winking at him.
You're gonna really like this one.
He for sure used it first. He like took a free
yeah.
trial run.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he sees just hot Wookiee ladies because that's what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently he lives on Kashyyyk. I mean,
Oh,
Yeah, true.
but yeah, that song I remembered it was kind of about like, can this 1 second last forever because I only exist while you have this machine turned on, and it's my duty to give you enjoyment while you're using me.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's cool.
Pretty
That's an
promiscuous
interesting
stuff.
idea.
Yeah.
At the time.
They cram a lot into this special. There's a lot that happens, honestly.
For sure.
And then also not a lot that happened.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
With Han and Chewie.
They cut back to Han and Chewie like flying around every now and then. They just say the same stuff over and over again.
There's
Like,
an Imperial starship chasing them.
we're on our way. The Imperials send like a search party to all the houses in Kashyyyk because they are looking for Chewbacca, I guess, because they know he's a rebel. And so now we have 2 stormtroopers and like a couple officers show up at the house, and they start just pointing guns in faces, walking back and forth, not doing a whole lot. And Son Dan, I think this is the next thing that happens, pretty much, distracts the one guy by turning on his present for Mala, which is sort of like this little lunchbox that opens up and is another different holographic computer display device. And he
Seems like the chessboard can do like everything also that all these
Yeah.
other devices can
Yeah.
do.
I mean, maybe other than the headset, the VR,
Yes,
but
yeah, sorry.
but like everything else could have been done on that. I think they have so many screens around their house.
Yeah. Wow.
And this introduces an important component of the rest of the movies, which you'll find out is the Imperial TV network, where they do a lot of announcements to the lay people. That,
Mhm.
comes up a heck of a lot.
Yeah, I did brush over that. I'm sorry. But you're right. That I guess they have like a planet-wide emergency broadcast that they can do. But the Imperial officer turns on the computer and watches a full song from the real life band Jefferson Starship, which I can only imagine like the only reason for this is because Starship is in the name of the band, and they're like, that would work for
That actually
this.
makes sense.
Yeah. That was one of the harder parts to watch, honestly.
Super boring
Yeah.
song.
And poor performance of it. I mean,
The singing was really
singing's
bad.
horrible. Like, I don't know why you don't just pre-record that.
Yeah, it was like a live, or at least that's what it seemed like from the mix of it and stuff, that it was a
He was
live
singing
version.
on that set.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, I don't really have anything to say about that. It's just so boring.
Like, the officer enjoyed it, though.
Yeah, he was tapping his finger along to
Stupid
it.
freak.
So that distracts him for a while so that
So that what?
nothing
I
happens.
think so that Lumpy can go up to his room.
Yeah, oh yeah, Lumpy goes up to his room because Lumpy also got a toy that looks like a little like
Lunchbox with a
soundboard,
spoon.
and he dumps a bunch of metal bits on top of it.
Then we don't come back to it for a while, too.
No, because I think the cartoon happens before that.
Yeah.
But before that is the cantina section before the cartoon. It doesn't matter, but
No, I think the cartoon's before the cantina.
He dumps all that stuff out, and then there was a cutaway. I'm trying to remember right where it cuts. There was like another little like cliffhanger at the time.
well, after he goes into his room, the stormtrooper is like told to go upstairs and like has a gun, and it fades out to commercial with like the stormtrooper ready to blast Lumpy in the back of the head.
Well, that happened later, though, didn't it?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
it was before. That was after the cartoon for sure.
Yeah.
But
I actually is that not where the VR scene happens? Doesn't it happen right after that?
I think the VR is before the Jefferson Starship.
This
is
is
all
before
blur.
the Empire comes.
Like right before, and then they come right after Itchy comes from watching his song.
Very nice.
Thank you. I know that the next thing that happened, I guess, is Itchy watching or
was
Lumpy watching the instructional
he-
video
the robot.
for how to build his thing.
Oh yeah, no, God, there's so many weird instructional sketches in this.
Yeah.
No, because he dumps out the like parts, and then I feel like there's a bit because he doesn't.
It cuts away to something.
Because the stormtrooper messes up his room. He's putting it together and watching the instructional video while
After.
his room is trash.
Yeah. So he's watching. I think he watches the
cartoon.
cartoon before that because
Comes
he's
back
got his
down.
headphones on.
Yeah. Why does he watch the cartoon again though? Like, don't they put him over there for some reason?
Because he's getting upset, and his mom is like, "Here, sit down," at a different computer.
The same reason he watched the circus.
He's just like an iPad kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's overstimulated.
So he's got to settle down and watch a cartoon, which has got to be the highlight of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right.
The most interesting thing to watch, the least music.
Yeah. Actual characters that you like recognize from
Mhm.
Star Wars.
And
They're
they did
flying around in spaceships and actually doing things.
Yeah, you get to see cool designs of spaceships. You get to see. I mean, it's notable for being the first appearance of Boba Fett, a very popular character.
He was cool too. I'm a Boba Fett fan right now based on that.
He looks cool, and the way he is talking and moving is pretty cool in that too. I liked him.
We got cool animated alien designs too, like the one that has like two faces. It's like a big purple
That big
one.
purple ball.
Yeah. Yeah, that was also smoking. And this nice holiday special.
It made me wish Boba Fett was like a nice guy in the end, because he's a really cool character.
Oh no. Boba Fett's not nice in the end?
Well, I mean, at the end of the
Oh, okay.
special, he gives him up to Darth Vader.
Yeah, that's fair. He was calling them friends a lot
Spoiled
too.
it. Yeah.
He was kind of sounding pretty genuine too at the beginning when he was helping them. I believed him.
Me too.
But now it's Death Star bound, friend.
Oh,
But wait,
Jesus.
I assume he like meets them again later in one of the actual movies, and this is just ignored then.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say there's no way
How are you
they
gonna navigate responding to that
they can
question?
fold this in.
So yes.
It's not necessarily
All right.
important canonically, but it is the first appearance of Boba Fett still, so that's kind of a big thing. And his coloring is pretty sweet in this too, which it
Yeah.
is different in the movie. But
Is the person who voices him the same as the person who plays in the movie?
I don't know. I don't think so.
The voice actor I thought did a good job too.
Yeah, and they have all that. The other people, the actual cast, that's definitely like Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford doing Han and Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool little cartoon.
Yeah, definitely a good palate cleanser. But then, like, it goes downhill immediately after.
Oh yeah, it only gets
back to
worse.
eating shit.
Yeah.
Little ice cream and then some shit.
And even the segments before the cartoon are better than what comes after the cartoon.
Yeah, that's almost impressive, honestly.
I don't know. I mean, we don't need
No,
to go
it's
through
not.
the effort of ranking them or anything, but the Jefferson Starship one might be the worst part of the whole thing.
Well, I honestly think when Lumpy is watching, God, these things feel stupid saying.
No, it's
When Lumpy's
Lumpy's watching his instructional video on how to put together his something.
yeah, yeah. When he's watching the instructional video, and there's the sketch of like, I guess I don't even know if I picked it up properly.
Yeah, it's pretty confusing.
The dude is from a race of like
They rushed through that at the beginning.
but then he's constantly glitching the entire time.
Apparently, this race suffers with like physical malfunctions in their hardware,
Yeah,
and this device allows them to function properly.
But he kept like just glitching and like picking his nose and stuff. during-
doing
Yeah.
like robot physical comedy.
which like elongated the sketch. It just was awful every time. It was like the joke made it longer. And
Every sketch had something that elongated it by a lot.
that's true.
Another funny.
Another drink.
Another drink,
Oh my god.
and then one more.
Another funny character from Harvey Korman, the same as the Julia Child parody.
Stir whip.
He has three roles in this.
Wait, what's the third?
The volcano head guy.
Oh, that's also
That's
him?
also him. Yeah.
Okay.
God.
So
He's creepy.
yeah, there's not even any jokes in this or attempts at jokes. The only thing that's supposed to be funny, I guess, is that like he'll like stutter and glitch, and then sometimes his voice will go like
Yeah.
like that's it.
The boys
Yeah,
were fucking around in the editing bay.
The premise is like, aren't physical tics funny? Which is
Yeah.
like kind of bad, also.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be funny if someone was like twitching and they couldn't help it?
Weird robot race.
Oh yeah, before I forget, I just wanted to about the Jefferson Starship song, which is called "Light the Sky on Fire."
Well, you feel free to forget.
This is just funny. This
No,
is
that
the
song
official,
exists in the Star Wars universe.
yeah, the Wikipedia entry. Is "Light the Sky on Fire" was a song sung by a band of human musicians and was popular on Kashyyyk during the Galactic Civil War. At around the same time, a song entitled "Hyperdrive" was also a hit on Kashyyyk. That's the B-side of the actual, real, physical, like, disc that they put out as promotion for this. The lyrics mention legends about a great god named Kopa Khan who came from the stars and vanished, but who was prophesied to eventually return. In one ABY, Son Dan gave Mala a music box that played a holovid of a performance of the song as a Life Day present. Dan later used the holovid to distract an Imperial officer. Holy shit. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Good note keeping, Star Wars fans.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Good note keeping.
They tried to keep it in the language of like, I don't know, plot summary, but it's like used it to distract the officer.
Mm-hmm.
There's no stakes from what?
Don't you remember when he was doing all that fiddling with it?
There's a big screen here.
Well, you know, the goal of the thing is to show the segments, and they have really pretty strong justifications for how to get there every time. I think. Here, watch this.
Usually to distract someone from thinking about something that's going on.
Truly.
Hang on.
And it works every time.
It's engrossing everything.
I think pretty quickly after that you get the another like alert from the Empire on the TV that the Imperial officers and the stormtroopers, it's like, all you guys are obligated to watch this. Okay, and they do. And then we go to a day in the life on Tatooine. Here's unedited footage of live happenings on Tatooine.
To make you feel better feel fortunate about your life.
Because you don't live on a shitty planet.
Here's your like forced superiority watching that you have to do.
Yeah, the 2 minutes hate.
And the thing that they're forced to watch is a sketch followed by a song.
A sketch.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll put quotes around it. But
Really, a song introduced by a sketch. Also, let's just be real.
A song introduced by a scene.
Another Harvey Korman character. Here he's playing a love-struck barfly with a big hole in the top of his head.
I was going to say the minimum for a sketch is one joke, but the one joke is that he has a hole in the top of his head where the drink goes down.
Yeah.
Well, there's the one big joke of the whole sketch, which is that he fell in love with the bartender who... another TV legend, B. Arthur. She would go on to be on Golden Girls, but I don't know. Was on a bunch of stuff before this too.
Wow, this paved the path. Nuts.
Maude, is that her other show?
Sounds right.
I get why all these actors are
Yeah.
doing this, though. I mean, Star Wars came out and was
It's
huge.
huge.
So,
Yeah, I mean, they're probably like, oh, a lot of eyeballs would be on this.
yeah, your
Probably made
expectation
money.
would be that this would be something somewhat adjacent,
Yeah.
a little diluted maybe, but not this much.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm sure that they were told, like, when they were signing up for it, that, like, yeah, you'll mostly be doing, like, you'll sing and, like,
This is
do
a variety
comedy
show.
bits. So, yeah, he, like, the only thing is, he says, like, oh, I fell in love with you when you said to me, like, come back soon, I'll be waiting for you. And then at the end, she says that same thing to another guy who's leaving the bar, and it's womp womp. She just says that to all the bar patrons.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
Gotta get drunk through my head.
But the whole like tone of the back and forth is like,
Menacing.
it's what you said to me. Oh, what did I say? Well, it's not so much what you said, but what you meant by it. Oh, well, what did I mean?
It's what I wanted you to think I thought you meant when I said it.
Well, if you think I thought you thought I thought what I said, then I didn't.
All while this is happening, he's walking behind the bar and like hugging her from behind.
Yeah, being pretty aggressive.
But she also it's weirdly written because also right after that she's like, even though you are super attractive,
Yes,
like
Well, I think she's being sarcastic.
I don't know. I thought it was hard to tell.
It is
She's a
hard to
weird
tell.
character. Then she gives him
He
she
was
said
hot.
the free drinks after that, and it's
Yeah.
like stay as long as you
Have
want.
another round on me.
Yeah,
And
wow.
she pours a drink into his head.
He gets two. He gets two free drinks in his head after
Yeah.
that. By the
Yeah,
way,
yeah.
which is sort of foreshadowing just her kind nature when it comes to giving away drinks.
Business
Yeah.
strategy.
And we didn't mention the other patrons of the bar are essentially just, I think, the real costumes from the first movie of the Cantina
Yeah, the
patrons.
Cantina band is there.
And the band is there. They're playing the song.
Was that giant rat in the first movie?
Possibly.
Okay.
I don't know.
There's just a giant rat that also stood out to me.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
That because it's not like anthropomorphized in any way or like a rat hybrid. It's just a giant
Just a
rat.
big rat,
Yeah.
And he squeaks like a mouse, too.
Yeah.
Well,
Pretty cute.
They stop at the rat planet for like a couple of minutes in the movie, right?
Yeah, in the first movie, they go...
We gotta go to the rat planet to get the Death Star plans.
She gets a broadcast on her TV saying that, like, there's a curfew and Tatooine people have to go home and the bar's closed. And she goes around for like a long ass time, like telling everybody over and over again, like, hey, did you hear? You gotta go home.
Help me out.
The bar's closed. Come on, you're my friend, right? And everybody's just ignoring her. And then it works to where she goes, okay, fine, I'll buy you all another round.
A couple hooligans start banging their mugs on the
Yeah.
table.
Uh-huh.
And the whole bar catches on.
Yeah,
And then she knows what that means.
Just
She
some
goes-
synchronicity equals free drinks.
Free drinks or we don't leave.
Yeah.
She goes into like a very show tunesy type song about like another drink, my friend, and it's loosely to the tune of the Cantina Band song.
Mm.
Loosely.
Another rough watch, in my opinion.
Yeah, it goes on for a long time.
Yeah,
too.
there's like, she kicks it up an octave. They're like, one more chorus.
Yeah.
There's like 4 lyrics too. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like one more drink, one more dance, one more chorus.
Everything rhymes with, or ends with friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a lot of, like you said, buttons to the end of the song, like classic, like dun 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 dun
Oh,
dun,
yeah.
dun 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 dun.
You want some
God.
more? We'll
Damn
give you
it.
some more.
Holy crap. Yeah, and then I guess that was like what the stormtroopers were like legally obligated to watch on TV.
Yeah, them defying the orders to shut down for curfew also.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The patrons, well, she gets them to leave eventually. I
Eventually,
guess.
after a few more rounds,
Pied-
after
Pied
another
Pipers
drink.
and walks them right out the door.
And yeah, that's that.
The stormtroopers know what to do based on that order.
Yep. They feel better prepared to serve the Empire.
This moment in this special is also the point where I was like, I have no clue where we are in regards to like how close we are
Yeah.
at the end of the plot.
Yeah.
There
And I
could
feel
be
like there could be
an
another
hour.
hour. Yeah. So I was getting a little worried.
It's pretty close to the end at that point, though.
Thank God.
Yeah. Essentially, like Han and Chewie get there.
Just as Lumpy is gonna be shot by a stormtrooper who, because he figures out the device
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
then fakes that the order is for the troops to return to the ship.
Apparently, that thing that he
That
got can
device
do that.
allows that.
He can hack into Imperial communications.
One stormtrooper was not so tricked and was about to expose him, and then Chewie shows up, Han shows up, Juke's left, stormtrooper goes right, goes over the railing.
Mm-hmm. The railing that we forgot to mention, we saw Lumpy balance
Mhm.
beaming on when he was supposed to be doing his chores.
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah.
like a 500-foot
Foreshadow.
drop.
And these are paintings done by Ralph McQuire too. Those exteriors of the Kashyyyk homestead, who's the famous concept artist for all the original art for Star Wars. So
Well, no complaints there.
that was a pretty nice looking little drawing
Yeah.
Mhm.
of the house and the trees. I gotta say,
We got a lot of positives we've taken away from this.
you gotta
Full painting.
pull some stuff.
We like the art stuff when there was animation and when there was the painting.
Yeah. So it's almost over now. Everybody's saying Happy Life Day to each other. Then the Chewie, Mala, Lumpy, and Itchy all grab their little
They're orbs.
light up glow. Yeah, little glass orbs with lights in them.
They're life day orbs.
Wait, you're thinking, aren't they going to come back and look for the stormtrooper that gets thrown over the railing? Well, damn son actually throws them off by saying he stole everything he had and took off. And
Oh
That's
yeah,
right.
So
Son Dan.
True.
Yeah.
because they issue a mass notice to look out for this one stormtrooper that goes missing.
I'm surprised they honestly even bothered to try to wrap that up with a few
Yeah,
lines.
like
I
they didn't
know.
care about anything else.
Well, Han says like, "Oh, they'll be back to look for him," and then Han leaves. It's so like when Son Dan comes back after Han leaves, it's like, holy shit! Like, what are they doing?
It's a suspenseful moment, and then it's him at the door, and he's
Yeah.
like, I got this.
Yeah, he's like a smooth talker.
He's kind of the fan favorite, I thought,
You liked him?
like so much, yeah.
Mhm.
I thought so.
He's only second. He's my second favorite Star Wars character now. Only second to the den mother of the infamous black hole again, Amazia.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, that's high quality pretty good characters.
My two
yeah.
favorites so far.
I can understand.
And then
why.
maybe like C-3PO.
Yeah, yeah.
Close third.
So they lift up their orbs and they transport and they get red robes on and they're in some kind of like shared meditation space with their fellow Wookiees on this very small soundstage that has a big tree.
It was like, it reminded me of, I don't know why, maybe just their robes and like the cultish feeling of it. It reminded me of Eyes Wide Shut when we got there. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, because they're like singing this like chanty type song too, because it's Wookiees, so they're not really singing. They're just kind of like
Wailing.
groaning, yeah, in some kind of rhythm.
It's awful.
It is terrible. And then C-3PO
like that.
and R2 and Han and Luke and Leia all show up here.
Yeah.
So I'm confused of whether it's a real place that they're at or not.
And Leia's song is also so bad.
Yeah, well, I don't know if maybe Carrie Fisher was trying to like break into being like, look, I can sing also. But she sings, yeah, a Life Day song, also loosely to the tune of the main Star Wars theme.
A day of peace and harmony.
Yeah, and there's parts in the background that are like,
To celebrate.
yeah, just awful. And then I think it ends on them all holding hands around the table to say a prayer before the rump roast.
Yeah.
Well, Chewie also does have a very like 1,000-yard stare flashback to his time at war in the first movie.
Yeah, the movie
Yeah.
clips play.
He looks really terrifying in that shot too.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it makes you realize how in the movie, like, at least I think, compared to this, they do a good job of, like, lighting him and, like, I guess fluffing up the hair or something enough to make him not look so, like, scary
God,
and
yeah.
unsettling.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's, like, somewhat intimidating in the movie, or you think, like, he could hurt someone.
Yeah.
But he's pretty friendly looking, and you believe that he's, like,
A good guy?
yeah. In this, like, maybe something that's, like, matted down.
I don't. Was
Or-
it even? Was there someone actually in a suit at that shot, or was it just like a head that they had made for it? Because it almost didn't even look. It looked lifeless. It was so
Yeah.
creepy.
It didn't move.
Oh. And like the eyes just look glazed over and glassy. Like
Even compared to his other appearances in the special, like, when he's in the Millennium Falcon with Han, those shots look pretty bad, but the costume looks pretty much the same as it does in the movies there at the beginning. Then the credits roll, and we've got Steve Binder to thank for directing that. Man, what was your guys' favorite segment from it? Well, the cartoon.
yeah.
If let's eliminate the cartoon because that's, I think, the obvious choice. That is, like, objectively the highest quality part of
by
the
a,
thing.
by a lot, because that makes it pretty difficult to like pinpoint what a
Oh,
second
yeah.
favorite part
Oh,
would
yeah.
even be.
I mean, even so much so that, like, Disney recognizes that cartoon and has put that cartoon by itself on Disney Plus.
Okay.
It's called The Faithful Wookiee on there.
Honestly, like the little VR experience thing would be my second favorite bit then. Just it like stands out as almost being like I don't know, it had more meat to it, I guess, somehow than the rest of everything.
I agree with you. That's my pick as well because it's not necessarily good, but it's at least very weird and interesting to be like, what is going on? And then the song is better than all the other songs.
Yeah.
The visuals are at least like somewhat hallucinatory and strange looking.
Just the cutbacks to Lumpy are the only
The chair,
part.
yeah. Oh man, that's the funniest part of all the segments is when they cut back to like someone watching it.
Yeah. Yeah, because we get so much from seeing the Wookiee faces go.
Yeah. What's your pick for the best part?
I would say Lumpy's just whole story arc because I hate when my mom makes me do chores.
Yeah.
You just want to eat Wookiee Ookies?
Yeah, and watch the
Cartoons.
circus and cartoons. I don't know. I like, especially in the context of like imagining what it was like to watch this as someone who had just seen the movie, like for the first time at the time. Just
and presumably loved the movie if you're
Presumably.
tuning in to the TV special.
yes, just like
Yeah.
the Luke section, like if you're like critically watching it and like thinking, okay, they're trying to be like deliberate about how they're telling this for like the story, then you're like, is Luke fucking evil? Like
Yeah.
he is so menacing in his like delivery of everything. I mean, partially it's the dark eyeliner. I guess that I'm a sucker for a nice makeup job. I guess that is part of what's so scary. But like, he's just like so creepy and so different than what he's like in the movie that I feel like that had to have just been such a scary experience for someone that was a Luke fan.
Yeah, I mean, like, I the little boys that love Luke and are like, oh, he's like my hero, and I dress up as him, and when he shows up like that, that's the second time you ever see him do anything.
And he just disappears in like the biggest, thickest smoke you've ever seen. And
Yeah, I only watched it once. When I watched it, it almost looked like he was fainting there too. I was like, "Oh, is Luke like
Yeah, he's
passing
about
out
to
right
pass
now?"
out.
He's inhaling a lot of
There's
fumes. From
so many
Yeah.
fumes. Yeah, I was like, "Oh no, okay."
so yeah, I mean, beyond that, it's just like you can't actually like anything because it's
But that was one of the more funny, entertaining parts of it, though.
yeah, and again, because it's like at least someone from the fucking movie that you recognize. Everyone else, you're just like, they could just like take the Star Wars label off of this and still release it as just like a space thing, because no one has anything to do with the plot.
Yeah, pretty much.
Other than like the fact that there is Wookiees, like
Yeah,
that's it.
and you see your characters for a bit.
Any closing thoughts on the holiday special? I mean, all in all, pretty awesome.
You know, it's just a crazy fun thought experiment to have. There's probably someone who was first exposed to Star Wars through this.
Mhm.
Probably caught this on television. Or like, oh, I guess I
I
maybe I've
should
heard
check
about
out
it.
Star Wars.
Yeah,
I didn't see it in theaters, but
I want to
I'll
know what
check
they
this out.
thought.
Like, what the fuck is everyone so like excited about for this?
Because yeah, Luke looks like a villain, and then the second time you see Luke in this is when he's animated, and he looks kind of scary there too.
yeah, him and Han Solo have pretty freaky faces in that.
Yeah.
The eyes are really, again, the scary part for Luke.
They have an inflated sense of how much music plays into the world of Star Wars.
Still needs to look good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you said when we were watching it, Connor, that the best part was the credits because it's just
they just
the
play
nice theme playing
Yeah.
and it's finally over.
You're like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, let's just forget.
That did feel like a marathon in a way.
Oh,
like
I
all
know.
the sketches we had to get through.
Jesus.
And the songs. God, the songs.
It's such a slog. But hey, you know, we expose you to it because that's legendary amongst Star Wars stuff. I
Yeah, do you
guess.
think so? Have a lot of fans seen this? Or is this like, if I go talk to someone who's like a casual Star Wars fan, are they not going to know what this is at all?
I feel like most people who would say that they're a fan at least have like heard of it,
Mm-hmm.
and then most like big fans have seen it.
It's probably not super, like, I don't know how you got it, but it's probably also not super accessible, right? I mean, you can't go on YouTube and just watch this, can you?
Well, I was on Internet Archive for it, and
Okay.
but there are like almost complete versions of it on YouTube, but they have like the cartoon taken out, and they also have the Jefferson Starship song taken out, which might have been nice to skip that part, but I wanted us to see it in its unedited glory, and
Yeah.
some part of me really was hoping I could find a version that had all the commercials in it too, and it
Oh,
was
that'd
just
be
a full
cool.
2 hour thing because it had a lot of commercials for Star Wars toys in it, and
Oh, yeah.
also just interesting to see like late 70s commercials. What I don't know.
Well, that's like insight into what they thought their demographics were at the time, too, right? I mean,
Yeah,
based on how
exactly.
they're marketing stuff.
But they probably have. I mean, that feels very intentionally targeted to be like this will appeal to like kids, parents, and old people.
Yeah.
Like with the 3 characters.
At the
Yeah.
expense of all of them.
Yeah, and actually appeal to nobody. Oh boy.
Well, yeah, I had no clue this one existed at all. Like, this was completely out of my Star Wars knowledge. So
But you've heard of the Star Wars President's Day special?
I wish that was a thing. I'm sad to hear there's no more other holiday specials,
I know.
honestly.
If they had done this right, maybe there would be a whole series.
I know.
Happy Halloween. May the 4th be with you.
Well, I guess I'm glad they didn't keep doing it wrong, too. We don't have to
Yeah.
watch more like this, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, do you really want to watch another hour and a half like that?
No, but it does seem like I feel like space and the Christmas special does go together. Like, you could make it work in a fun way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Traveling around to different Christmas-themed planets.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like there's a reason why there's like always a Lego Star Wars advent calendar every year, and like, I don't know, the aesthetics have some fun potential to
Yeah.
mishmash. I don't know.
Yeah, I could see like a stormtrooper eating a candy cane.
Or with like a Santa hat on, Darth
Yeah.
Vader with a Santa hat.
Going,
Hey.
going to the rat planet. There's
Yeah.
mistletoe there.
Pouring, dumping mistletoe down the volcano guy's head.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I know I said this while we were watching, but last little thought about the volcano guy. When-
Yeah. I get it. He was super interesting. There's a lot to dive into
Yeah.
there.
When she poured the drink into the top of his head, it was like the actor didn't know what to do
Yeah.
because his mouth kind of moved, or he had some reaction that was almost like I could see the gears in his head going like, oh, I should act like, this is yummy, or wait,
Yeah.
am I tasting this, or is it just going into my body?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think they were giving a lot to work with.
no. But, you know, I mean, as an actor, you're probably not thinking about it too hard, but I'm sure at least some of those actors, like the Imperial officer who was very intense and getting up in people's faces,
Yeah.
was like, had a little, like, personal backstory for his character and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But maybe do another take when it's that visibly like, I don't really know what I'm doing.
Yeah, they're running low on film. They just had to keep going.
The whole project definitely seems like there were quotas that needed to be filled. Like, that's what it's like. This needed to be a certain amount of time.
Oh,
This
yeah.
needed to get done quickly. Something like that. Like,
Yeah.
for this budget.
There's a lot of just like wasted time where people just kind of walk slowly across rooms or songs just kind of fade out really slowly.
We watched Marla boot up like 3 computers 3 different times for like 30 seconds each.
Mhm.
It's so annoying.
And they make like a crazy loud noise every time too, like a harsh alarm bell. Oh my god, this is
This
just.
is what it's like. They have to show it what it's like.
But the noises in Star Wars are awesome. They do a great job to make even like mechanical things not be like abrasive and annoying to
Yeah.
hear. But
Maybe this will help me really appreciate Empire Strikes Back.
It only goes up.
now you've seen how bad it can be
Yeah.
in the wrong hands.
Yeah, yeah. If I don't like the next movie though, it's kind of over, man.
Honestly, it kind of is, but we will have to keep going
Cut
anyway.
this thing
All right,
short.
fair enough.
Because maybe your mind will change. If you don't like the next one and then you end up like loving Attack of the Clones or something, then that would be crazy.
Very possible.
Is Attack of the Clones the first of the prequels?
It's the second of the prequels.
Okay. I'm sure. It's interesting.
So we're gonna talk just briefly about some more of the comics that we read, but Connor didn't read them. But before we lose you, Connor, I was hoping that we could do a little bit of Star Wars trivia contest.
Oh, hell yeah.
And since we have another contestant here who, you know, I don't think I'm talking out of turn to say that it's like Ryan knows not that much. Connor knows like a pretty solid amount, and
Sure.
I know like too much about it.
Oh, so we're like kind of like a Russian nesting doll of Star Wars knowledge.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm not bragging. That's just the facts of it. All right, and it goes like that. So he's a good like litmus test to like the casual difficulty of this trivia.
Yeah.
I would guess that like you have a lot more Star Wars knowledge than I'd say. There's a big
Compared to you,
a big
yeah,
jump.
yeah.
I mean, how many times have you seen the first film? Would you say?
The first one,
Yeah.
I've probably seen like 10 to 12 times.
Yeah. All right.
Somewhere in
well,
that range.
I'm just like padding the blow when this trivia goes awful for me.
Sure, but I think that's well within expectation because you haven't seen. I'm assuming you're not just asking trivia from the first, or are you just basing
Yes.
it off the first movie?
So this trivia is from the official fan newsletter that was coming out at the time, called Bantha Tracks, and
They really were in on Banthas for a while.
yeah, people liked them. That. It wasn't called anything. It was just called the Star Wars fan newsletter, and then in one of the early issues of it or whatever, they had a fan contest to name it, and that was the one that won. So that was a fan voted and wanted name
That's
for it.
weird.
Wow.
People love the Banthas.
I can't say I disagree, but I just didn't realize they were.
Yeah, it's a cool design, but they're also barely in the movie.
Yeah. Like 2 minutes of screen time.
So yeah, this was from, I'm pretty sure, the 4th issue of Bantha Tracks. And there's 25 questions, so I'm not going to do all of them.
Okay.
But we'll just do some of
23
these.
or 24.
Yeah, I'll probably skip one or two, but okay.
How's the buzzing in working?
We'll just go one at a time. We'll let you go first,
Okay.
since he might be more likely to know the answer.
Sure,
than you.
sure.
Wow. Jeez. Okay.
But if I get one right, I get to control the board and go first. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. If you get one right, you get to pull out a chunk of Ryan's hair.
Yeah.
So here we go. I spoiled this one for you in the car. The first question: what are the names of Luke's aunt and uncle?
Yeah, we did just talk about this. I don't really remember though. The uncle's name starts with an E, I think. It's like Irwin or something.
That's very close, but it doesn't start with an E.
Oh, man. And maybe his aunt's name is Gretel.
Erwin and Gretel. And any guess of the last name at all?
Oh,
It's not Skywalker.
yeah. I feel like it starts with an O or something, like Owalski or something.
Erwin Owalski. Erwin and Greta Owalski. All right.
Yeah.
That's locked in. All
Yeah.
right, Connor, do you
I'm
know?
feeling pretty confident too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I know his uncle's name is Owen.
That is correct.
Oh, come
You
on.
were close. You were very close.
Oh, man.
I'm not as positive on his aunt. Is their last name Lars?
Yes, the last name is Lars.
Okay. Is it like? I know this is wrong, but I don't want to delay too much. Is it Padma? Something like that.
No, it's Baru.
Baru.
Baru is the aunt.
Damn
Baru
it.
Lars.
No, it's not
Brie
close to
Larson.
Gretel.
No, yeah. But so Gretel. you know.
They're tough though because they were introduced and then they were gone.
And they were
you know?
Gretel Owalski was short-lived.
Yeah, Gretel Owalski got completely disintegrated by stormtroopers as she was trying to claw her way out of her burning house.
Jeez.
Okay, wow.
So what language, question number 2, what language did Luke's aunt want the new droids to speak? It's a bit of a harder one.
Oh, that's really hard.
So are these all just like questions about the uncle and aunt or something? What's going on here?
No, that's the last one.
They come back from the dead in the next movie.
I can't even name like a Star Wars language.
I'll give you a hint. It's the same word as a common lawn game, a European lawn game played with
Croquet?
balls. No,
Horseshoes.
Bocce?
there you go.
Bocce.
It's bocce.
Wow.
Spelled the same?
Okay. 0 for 2.
I don't know.
B-O-C-C-I, I guess.
Okay, I'll skip. No, question 3 is good, and then I'll start skipping. Who did Greedo work for? You might know that one.
I believe the answer is Jabba the Hutt.
Very nice, very nice. All right.
Points on the board. Points on the board.
Sorry, Connor, you will not get an opportunity to answer.
It's okay.
Because he got it right.
Yeah. Now you give him a harder one from the bottom that we weren't going to get to.
Okay,
And you pull out my hair.
Yeah.
Connor, this one will go to you first. According to Han Solo, Princess Leia discovered something in the garbage masher. What?
According to Han Solo?
Mm-hmm. And I'll give you a hint. He says this before they jump into the garbage masher. It's when they're in the hallway shooting at the stormtroopers.
Her attitude?
Unfortunately not.
Cut that out.
Any guesses, Ryan?
Oh man. So it's something she says to him right before they jump in.
Something he says to her. According to Han Solo, Princess Leia discovered something in the garbage masher. What?
He says this before they jump in.
So she
Is it
shoots
like
the grate,
Yeah.
and then she's like, "Come on, get in there." And he says something to her after she does that.
You discovered.
He's like, "You've found your fighting spirit." Is it something like that?
No. He says, "What an incredible smell you've discovered." Look, this is on the real trivia, guys. I'm not making
Panther
stuff.
tracks, man. It's the real
Okay.
deal.
Okay. Let's see.
I guess there's not much trivia to pull out from just like the one movie.
Yeah, it's.
They have to go do some deep cuts.
Oh, there's 25 pretty good questions here.
Although that was a deep cut. I don't remember that one.
So, Princess Leia told Grand Moff Tarkin that the Rebel base was on what planet? When she lies to him about which planet the Rebel base is on, what does she say?
Is this me first?
I guess if you don't know it off the top of your head, either person can give an answer.
My only guess would be like Andorin, but that's because that sounds close to where I think she's from, and I forget that planet's name as well. So
True.
Alderaan
Close.
is her planet. So you are close, but that's not it.
no.
Hoth?
No.
Fuck. I don't know.
The answer is Dantooine.
Oh, Dantooine?
Grand Moff Tarkin says Dantooine's far too remote for a proper demonstration, so we gotta blow up Alderaan.
Okay, did you just know that?
Yes.
Like off the top of your head?
Yeah, he definitely did.
Man.
So while still on Tatooine, how far does Luke offer to take Obi-Wan Kenobi? So Obi-Wan is saying, "I need you to take me to Mos Eisley. We're gonna go there together, so we can go to Alderaan. We can get a pilot and go to Alderaan. You need to come with me." Luke is like, I can't come with you. I gotta go be a farmer. I'll take you as far as...
I remember the scene, but like...
It's the name of a city on Tatooine. More of a settlement.
And it's not Mos Eisley?
No, it's before Mos Eisley. It's between the Lars homestead and Mos Eisley.
No idea.
These are hard questions. You shouldn't feel bad about
Yeah,
it.
those names I wouldn't have even like really recognized.
All right. Well, if you don't know it, I can just... Bathsk. You got it.
Yes.
It's Anchorhead. I'll take you as far as Anchorhead. Okay.
That's when he says that.
Holy,
Bathsk is something.
these are all just like numbers and stuff. I don't want to do these. Oh yeah, I like this one. While talking to Luke's uncle.
Okay.
What did C-3PO say was his first job?
A translation droid? Is that it?
Can you be more specific?
Yeah, so he is a translation droid, but his first job was... So just like
man.
memorizing lines from the movie.
I remember the moment because it's when he's like trying to talk himself up so he gets hired basically. And he's like,
Uh-huh.
I used to do this. Exactly what you're looking for.
Do you speak the language of moisture evaporators?
Tag yourself.
Why, yes. My first job.
He used to clean vaporizers.
No.
You look so
Sounds
disappointed.
right.
Why do you sound so
I'm
disappointed?
not disappointed.
You seem disappointed. I feel like I'm disappointed.
I was
You
just
might-
thinking about whether or not I would consider that to be close or not. That's
Okay.
what that face was.
All
He
right.
might be disappointed in me. I just remember that he says etiquette and protocol.
Yeah.
That's not what you're looking for.
No, the correct answer, and I'm not looking at the key for this, is my first job was programming binary load lifters. Guys, we were looking for binary load lifters.
Programming
Okay.
binary load
Yeah.
lifters.
None of those. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Gotta get one for Itchy's Oculus Rift.
And then, let's see. Let's go back and forth and see how many names of different spaceships that are only in the first movie we can do. So the last trivia question is, how many different types of mechanical vehicles were there in Star Wars? Name them.
many and name them.
Yeah, so we can go back and forth naming the vehicles.
All right.
Unless you guys just don't want to do that.
No, I want to do it.
Okay.
That's.
You stole my first one.
I was giving it. I'm sorry. I was telling you.
It's like kind of the big, easy one. I feel like you should have left that on the plate for me, man.
You're right. You're right.
X-wing.
selfish.
X-wing.
There you go.
Y-wing.
There you go. I'll give you guys a hint.
Really?
According-
Sounds like he just sort of built off mine there.
No. There are,
In the first movie, there's a Y-wing.
according to this, 10 were shown and an 11th was mentioned. So that's part of the that's the answer to how many there are. But we've got 3. They count the
All
Death
right.
Star.
Millennium Falcon.
Yep.
Now I'm running.
Do you know
low.
what type of ship the Millennium Falcon is?
Yeah, it's a spaceship.
A Corellian freighter,
Oh, okay.
especially modified.
But it's modified, yeah.
Yeah.
Because what I learned from the comics is that, you'll see a classification of a ship coming up, but with these rebels, you never know because they can modify their ships. So
Yeah.
it might be in a certain classification, but it might be more dangerous than it seems.
Mm-hmm.
They're fitted with all the latest.
Just the kind
engines.
of insight you can get from the comics.
I wouldn't know.
Well, you shouldn't. They're pretty bad, honestly.
Sandcrawler.
There you go. Nice. The Jawas vehicle.
I'm trying to think of what the long one that they ride in when they say the line like these are not the droids you're looking for. Like what vehicle are they in when that happens?
I think I know the name.
Yeah, I there is like an official like model of that type of vehicle that it
No,
is,
I
but
don't
it's
know
just no, me neither. It's just a generic.
Oh, so that's not one of them.
No, it is, but
Oh.
But
the
there's
term for it is kind of generic sounding.
Sand car.
Oof.
Woof.
Light.
I don't know if you're gonna get invited back. JK, yeah, you know it.
Land
Wasn't that
speeder.
The land speeder. That's
Oh.
6. So we've got
Same thing. It's
Yeah.
just describing what it is.
Wasn't the last one sand crawler?
Yeah. Sandcrawler, sandcar,
Sandcrawler lands. Yeah.
space car, space crawler.
Yeah.
So they're counting the escape pod that R2D2 and C3PO jettison off of as
I would
one.
never have guessed
So
that.
I'll go ahead and give you
Seems
that
more
one.
like a tendril of another vehicle, but okay.
Yeah.
Right. And
What vehicle
that
would
might
that
hint
be?
you into,
No, thank you. Pass.
Imperial Star Cruiser.
well, that is one of them, yeah, the Star Destroyer.
Star Destroyer.
But what do you know what ship the Star Destroyer pulls into its grasp in the opening? The Rebel blockade runner, the Tantive 4,
Oh, is that said in the movie?
by pilot Captain Antilles.
But that's said in the movie?
No,
Okay.
I don't believe so.
You have
Okay.
to do more research to find that.
And then the only other one is
Wait, do an impression of what it sounds like.
Yeah.
You want to say it?
you know what it's called?
No.
TIE Fighter.
That's what it's called.
No.
And then big bonus points for the one that's mentioned but not actually shown. And I'll give you a hint. A model of it is shown in the movie.
Does it ever show up in in later movies?
No.
Model of it shown.
This is engaging content. Well, with all the thinking pauses cut out, this will zip right by.
Yeah.
I was hoping you would cut out me sitting here,
I think it'll be pretty awesome.
not coming up with the answer.
Yeah, whenever answer is,
Well, it's just to show that you really don't know enough yet.
yeah, we'll take the same quiz again in a year. And I'll know all the answers.
I don't want to guess too many things because some stuff would be showing up in movies after this.
Right. So I'll give you another hint. It's the vehicle.
Make the sound.
It's not in the movie, so it doesn't make sound. So the model is Luke is playing with this and going woo woo when he's first inside cleaning off C-3PO. And then later at the end of the movie during the Death Star briefing, someone goes 2 meters, like about the exhaust port. You can't hit 2 meters with a proton torpedo or whatever. And then Luke goes, it's not that bad. I used to do it all the time, blasting womp rats in Beggar's Canyon back home.
I got it now.
I have no clue.
The T-16.
Woo! Woo! Woo!
All right.
And that's the end of Bantha Tracks trivia for now.
I got one of those, I think.
Yeah.
No,
Jabba the Hutt.
I think just the one.
I mean, we could
Jabba the
do the remaining questions.
I guess I got like Millennium Falcon. If you
Yeah,
wanna
we
count
helped.
that.
We
It's
worked
like
together to
X-Wing.
name some.
X-wing, yeah.
Yeah.
So like there was some retention of concepts.
Well, you pretty much remembered everything that was like actually focused on in the movie.
Yeah.
The other stuff is like lines, like one line references and things. So
Yeah.
I feel like the name Erwin Owalski is like a John Travolta messing up Idina Menzel's name. Like, and now presenting Erwin Owalski.
Magnificently talented, or the wickedly
Wickedly
talented.
talented.
Well, I like remember him having a slightly strange name because just like oh, they're on Tatooine, but I guess not. I
Owen
guess it's just
Lars.
Owen. Yeah.
Baru, that's
Baru.
more of a space name.
Yeah.
think
Well, that's why I
about
said Gretel for her. 'Cause,
Right.
You don't meet Gretel every day.
I mean,
And you don't meet her for long.
is Germany adjacent too? It's supposed to be Germany.
Oh.
yeah, Tatooine.
That's why Gretel's there.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Luke is a pretty regular ass name too.
Luke.
True. Yeah.
Luke.
I guess maybe I'm just like superimposing my ideas of what space names should be.
Yeah, but I feel like even before seeing Star Wars, it's just like, well, Luke Skywalker. I know that name. That's obviously like from Star Wars.
Yeah.
Itchy Chewbacca.
Yeah, Itchy, Mala. Oh, by the way, they all have full names that are established in later comic book appearances of these characters.
Chewbacca's family?
Mhm.
They show up in the comics later?
Mala Tobuk is Mala's full name.
Mala Tobuk.
Just Mala Tobuk.
Oh.
Yeah, they do apparently. They show up in like some books and
Oh.
some comics.
Or in for a treat.
Mother of the sun, Lumpawaru.
Lumpawaru.
That's Lumpy?
That's
Mhm.
gotta be lumpy.
That's Lumpy. And
Mother
it's
of
like
the sun.
Itchy Chuwa or something too. Alright.
Wait,
Well,
was Lumpy a girl?
Mm-mm.
no, Lumpy's a boy.
Why is there like title Mother of the Sun?
Mala is the mother of the sun.
Oh,
It's the mother of Lumpy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Mother of like the Sun was a
Oh, no.
like title that was bestowed upon her.
That was just in her
Yeah.
bio on the Wikipedia.
Oh,
It's,
okay.
Yeah. Mother
Alright.
to son, Lumpawawa.
I like heard it cooler than it was.
That, that is a cool title.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us and watching that and discussing.
Of course. Happy Life Day to you both.
Happy Life Day
Happy
to
Life
you.
Day, man.
You and your family mean so much to me.
Yeah, you know I wouldn't miss this.
You know I've helped you get back home every year.
100 for 100.
Han Solo is also 100 years old.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Yeah, I guess I read a little further ahead in the comics
Yeah.
than you. These are pretty much all the comics before Empire Strikes Back comes out, which will be our focus of our next episode. But I guess right off the bat, I'll say these do get better than what we were reading before.
Yeah, I found myself a little more interested in like not having to feel like I'm doing some chore, like reading through them. They're not like the best,
Yeah.
but I wasn't entertained towards the end of the last comics. I like maintained this like medium level of entertainment reading these.
Yeah, me too. I think the first one we read after last episode, like the first one after the arc where Luke is on the pirate planet, the main characters are like not in it at all, and it's like introducing this Punisher type robot guy or cyborg guy
Yeah,
who hates droids.
and yeah, we get a focus on Amazia.
And Jackson comes back. Too.
Yeah,
the Green Bunny.
I was gonna say that's the Green Bunny, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who, man, I screenshotted some. He is a strange character.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
scary strange too, and he's got very like uncomfortable lines in there.
Oh, he's like horny for her, right? Doesn't he try and bring her home?
Yes, yeah. They describe him as a man-sized meat-eating green rabbit. And
Yeah,
it's
that's like the gimmick to him when they first introduce him. He's like, I'm a rabbit, but I'm not a vegetarian.
it's just awful. I hate it.
But like of these like absolutely nothing early comics Star Wars characters, he is the one that like people remember. He's not important to anything, but like there's like a toy of him and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there an Amazia toy?
I don't know. I don't think
Wow.
so.
No love for the den mother of the infamous Black Hole game.
No, I guess not.
I just love that they like build so much history into that character's title when they introduced her. Like that makes me curious as to
I
what
know.
the Black Hole Gang did.
I want to know what the Black Hole Gang is. Then the next issue is Luke having a flashback to Tatooine and then dreaming of like a fake adventure.
Yeah, and his like little mini adventure on Tatooine also is pretty similar to like some of the maneuvers he has to do eventually, like with the Death Star.
Yeah, that's when he takes his T-16 through Beggar's Canyon.
Oh, there you go.
And like Devil's Gap or something.
Yeah.
But no, yeah.
It was also weird, like, it just was weird because it made me think about it, but, like, they were all getting together because one of his friends was going off to the academy or something, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he has friends. Like, he has a pre-established life on here.
Yeah, yeah.
So just because his uncle and aunt died doesn't mean there's, like, not people he still knows from there. I'm curious if, like, if that is a point that's brought up later in films, or if that's even, like, a little crack that a future writer, maybe in, like, the 2010s, has been like, oh, we could always use someone from Luke's past, from Tatooine, because that was left open.
Well, if you remember in the first movie, he goes like, well, Biggs and Wedge have already left and gone to the academy.
Oh, I didn't remember that now.
It's just a brief one-line thing, and then there's a deleted scene where when he gets to the base on Yavin 4, he runs into Biggs again, and he's like, oh, Biggs, a story I have to tell you, like, which was in the comic adaptation of the movie, too. And then during the Death Star run, Biggs and Wedge are the fellow X-Wing pilots. Biggs, they're the last three alive. Biggs gets killed. Wedge is the only other one who lives. So, like, yeah, his friends from Tatooine are characters in the movies. They're very small characters, kind of in the background, but they are there.
Oh, yeah, I guess I didn't register that was them, like, the one time watching it.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, absolutely not. They don't focus on that at all,
Yeah.
but it is there.
So is that, are you telling me basically Tatooine connections in regards to, like, relationships, there's no more? Like, everyone's dead at this point for Luke?
Well, Wedge is still alive.
Oh,
Wedge
yeah.
Antilles, no relation to Captain Antilles of the Tantive Four. But
I wouldn't know what it is anyway.
Yeah, Wedge is still alive, but I was gonna say, he doesn't really have any ties to Tatooine when he leaves because his two best friends are gone, and then his family dies. But yeah, that was a boring one, that issue. But it did have a cool. Both issues that weren't like about the main characters had because that Punisher guy, it says he like views a bootleg tape of like what happens on the Death Star, and so there's like a pretty cool like splash page.
I screenshotted that as well.
Yeah, montage of what happens on the Death Star. It's nice. Carmine Infantino, we should say, is still doing the art here. Pretty good job. Archie Goodwin writing still, which stays pretty consistent. Except I think that Luke flashback issue was written by someone else. Yeah, in the flashback of Luke, he also has a little montage, like, splash page of the whole first movie as well. They do it 2 issues in a row.
I really like all the splash pages that they do in these books.
It looks nice. Yeah, I don't think you got to this one, but there's a cool image of Darth Vader.
No, I did. I did get to. I forget exactly when this was. Oh, it's because there's like these Darth Vader interludes that they start doing, and I don't know. Maybe that is like a continuation of some of those. But I love the one I screenshotted because like the full page art was pretty cool. It's just like Darth Vader destroying a rebel base, like killing everyone here.
Oh yeah, with like the flowers and stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's awesome because up top, like you just like as your eyes go down the page, you see all the flowers, which is kind of like a nice calming thing. The sun is out shining bright, and as you get further down, you start to see like, oh, this destroyed wreckage, and then you see Vader like holding someone.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly.
And just like dead bodies at the very bottom. So I liked the page composition of going from like pure flower to pure body.
Yeah, that is really cool.
It was awesome, yeah.
I didn't screenshot that one, but I remember liking that one. The first like actual arc that we read is kind of fun and kind of good. They all end up on this space station called the Sphere.
It's the wheel, right?
Oh, the wheel.
Yeah.
I was about to say the Sphere, even though it's just a wheel, but it is called the wheel.
It was notable to me because it felt like, hey, we're doing another kind of Death Star big thing here.
Yeah.
But it's the wheel, not the Death Star, which is like a gambler's paradise, basically.
Yeah, led by this guy called Greyshade.
Yeah.
So another problem that the comics have is Leia literally just gets used as like a sexual bargaining chip, like over and over again. And when she's not, she's just kind of like worrying about Han and Luke. And it's like, oh my god.
Yeah. Or just like, yeah, or like political exposition, because I think she's the one, maybe not, but we basically learned that the Empire is funding a lot of their military work through this big gambling center, which is
Yeah,
also
they like take a tax off of the casino.
kind of interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool because they set it up that it's like a neutral area free from the Empire. And it's allowed to maintain neutral because they give a big tax to the Empire
Yeah.
for their military. And you've got like General Strom in there, who's like a fine character. He's like the Imperial officer who's like in a lot of scenes with Gray Shade. Like,
Yeah, those two just go on and on for a
Uh-huh.
lot of pages.
oh yeah. But Gray Shade wants Leia, and so he's like, I'll help you guys if. Oh, the whole thing starts because Luke goes into like a force coma.
Oh yeah, which is also super interesting, by the way,
Yeah.
because I didn't think, like, assuming none of this is gonna stay canon, I didn't think they'd touch like Force stuff or dig into it deeper until
Yeah.
the next movie. But like, yeah, there's and also like Vader feels his presence via the Force
Mhm.
later towards the end of the storyline too,
Yeah. He.
and Luke feels Vader's too, doesn't he?
Mhm.
So like,
So
I don't know if
they're-
that carries over either.
Well, they're just recognizing that each other like is strong with the force.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was like some of the coolest stuff.
Oh yeah, and Luke uses the Force actually in this for the like. Is that the first time we really see him
What does he do?
use it outside Death Star stuff? He breaks out of his like containment unit or whatever because I forget what the actual like he's floating in space if you remember this.
Oh yeah.
And then like he's going towards Obi-Wan, I think, and like
Mhm.
taking his hand, but instead of taking his hand, he's actually just breaking out of like the little containment unit or whatever he was stuck in.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot he like is hallucinating and he kills a bunch of guys.
Yeah, which is like, I'm assuming that's not how the Force is going to work moving forward. But I was like, pretty interesting that he like, I don't know, goes into this state.
Well, he goes into like a something that's interesting, like a hallucinatory lightsaber battle with Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Which, hey, they
Which, hey, what?
nothing.
Interesting.
So Chewie and Han get involved in like a gladiator tournament.
Yeah.
And
Chewie has to shoot Han Solo.
yeah, it's like the Hunger Games where they're like the last two people, and then Han's like, just get it over with because I'm not gonna argue with you. But he hides a metal shield under his shirt, so it looks like he died.
Yeah.
And then Chewie is for some reason allowed to carry the body and is like, hey, you made me kill my friend, but as one consolation, let me carry him.
It's also super funny because, like, the two people basically pulling the strings as they're, like, arguing with each other over their machinations and plans. The one dude's like, we should have just killed them when we had the chance. Like, this is stupid. This is ridiculous. Because now they're both left alive. And he's like, but no, the rules of the gambling center are that only one can live.
Yeah.
So one of them has to die. Then the other guy's just like, you genius, you. Every time I think you're not going to pull through, you've got a genius plan.
Yeah,
It's
he
like
does
so
get
funny.
impressed by it.
Yeah.
So I guess the plot is like the Empire is trying to make it look like the rebels are like fucking with stuff.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
like there's this C-3PO looking like a more jacked like Chad like version of C-3PO
Yeah.
Master Com that's Gray Shade's robot friend.
Becomes friends with R2-D2.
Yeah.
It's very wholesome.
So I've screenshot this part where he and R2 like play this footage to the bar patrons because the bar patrons have been getting news of like, hey, the Imperials are doing stuff. Wait a minute, I actually don't like the rebels. I forget all the, nuts and bolts of it, but it's like a scheme to make the people who are always at the wheel dislike rebels. And oh yeah, they pretend that like the rebels are attacking them so that they can justify like an Imperial occupation or whatever. But then they play this, every communicator screen in the casino flashes the sight and sound of treachery. Then from this image of showing Gray Shade's employees getting the treasure back from the Imperials, all the bar patrons immediately understand, What in the galaxy? Wheel guards raiding the Imperial commander's ship? But listen to what they're saying. Look at those strong boxes. It's the wheel prophet. Strom reported that the rebels pirated. The Empire's been making those attacks and claiming it was the Alliance. It's like, okay, so that worked perfectly.
Yeah, everyone was like, well, yeah.
Everybody listen up.
Yeah, the degenerate gamblers there all thought yes.
They followed the logic of that perfectly. Yeah, I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, it's like, this comic stuff, this storyline was better than the last one for sure, but it's still obviously like not a great comic storyline.
Yeah, but it was
like
kind of a little fun though. Yeah,
it's
some
got-
good action in it.
I like the setting too a lot more than like our last one.
And we're actually like dealing with the main characters, and like they're all like doing stuff
Yeah.
together. You didn't read any after they get off the wheel. I forget exactly how they get off, but
I think I read past them getting off the wheel because there was like an epilogue issue, I think, or something. So I've read maybe one past where that storyline says it ends, but can't remember like what it, because whenever I stop reading, I just think that I'd gotten to the point where like the next stuff is the second movie. So
Right.
I don't like look past that.
I think they don't start adapting the second movie until issue like 38.
Oh, okay.
Which I read up to like 35, and I won't
Jeez.
spoil it if too much if you're interested at all. But did you read any of the arc where Luke, there's like this wind tunnel on Yavin, and there's like another secret base?
No, I don't think so, because a lot of the stuff I've read so far hasn't even been Luke focused. Like just that little backstory, really.
Yeah, because even in the wheel stuff, he's like unconscious for most of it.
Yeah, it seems like they're intentionally like trying not to use him that much.
Yeah, but they start a lot more in the stuff right after that.
Okay. I guess I haven't read that far then.
Did you read the standalone issue where the Punisher guy is fighting Darth Vader?
Was it part of this gambling storyline, or was it?
No, it was either the one after or after that arc that you didn't read. So you wouldn't have read it maybe, but I couldn't remember exactly. Oh no, this is issue 29. Yeah,
No, for sure no then.
So the cyborg guy fights Vader. It's really cool. That's like definitely my favorite issue so far of the comics. Even if you're not interested in going through all of them, I would check that one out.
I read up to 24.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. A few one-offs. There's a Obi-Wan flashback issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did like the flashback stuff, even if like it didn't feel like it was adding so much. It was like just nice to see.
I also read the annual that Chris Claremont wrote.
I thought it's after the second movie though.
No, it's in between issues 31 and 32.
Okay, I am absolutely going to read that then.
It's pretty nothing.
It's bad.
It's not like terrible, but it's just like, what? I don't care. Personally, maybe you'll like it.
I kind of figured it'd be bad.
Yeah.
So neutral was a win. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. But I know you're just a Chris Claremont head, so it might be interesting to you in that way.
I am, but I also think he can only write X-Men pretty well. Stuff he's written outside of that has been more dubious.
Yeah. At least what I've read.
And modern stuff. He kind of lost
Oh boy.
the ability.
I mean, it's just hard to read modern comics that still have that many words on them when it's just like, I know these are inessential. Like, I know I could skip this.
Yeah. His Extreme X-Men. Have you read Extreme X-Men?
No.
It's just like...
It's like the early 2000s series he did.
Yeah. It was basically just them giving it to him as a gift, I think.
Yeah.
But it's rough. And it's got like Storm and Psylocke, so it should be cool, but it's pretty rough.
Damn.
But that's not Star Wars.
Well, that's okay. I don't know. Any final thoughts before? Sorry to keep you, but you did text me that you bought your first piece of Star Wars merch the other day, and I would love to know what that is.
I meant to bring it too, actually, because I have some left over. Because
food.
It's a food item, yeah. And it's not a product I ever buy, actually, so I did intentionally buy this because it's Star Wars,
Okay.
and because there was like a Star Wars marketing gimmick with it that I was like, well, I have to do it.
Okay.
And it's they're currently selling Star Wars Oreo packs,
Okay.
and the gimmick is their light side or dark side.
Oh,
So,
I've seen that.
Yeah, you're not sure
yeah.
what you're gonna get. So you want to maybe try to take a guess which side I belong to according to the Oreos?
Oh, it's not like split up half and half inside the pack. It's like one or the other.
Says this is why I got it too. This is the real reason, the main reason. It says on the pack, they will only be one of the colors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you're either gonna be Sith or light side, or Sith or Jedi, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna guess you got red ones.
I did. Yes, I did.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Not great. I don't like Oreos that much as a cookie. So, and there was like some popping thing inside of it, like rock candy or something, like, to a very, very small degree, I think, to like try to make it extra Star Warsy.
Gotcha.
Just not good.
Did the cookie part of it have like Darth Vader's helmet on it?
It did.
Nice.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's my first Star Wars product.
Hey, first of many, hopefully.
We'll see.
Well, nice. That's a fun find.
Yeah.
I've seen those. I didn't buy them, but
I would never buy them again.
yeah, I don't really like Oreos either.
It's like kind of a D tier cookie.
They get so like your mouth gets so disgusting when you eat Oreos.
Yeah, you look like a Game of Thrones character.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
One of the peasants.
Reek or something. Yeah. Well, that's good to hear though that you were excited to see what side you belong to.
Yeah. Well, the way I thought about it, I was like, well, a lot of people when they're kids end up liking characters or teams for stupid kid reasons.
Yeah.
So I was like, what if I just like let this sort of dictate which side I'm rooting for? And now I'm rooting for the dark side.
Okay. Well, we'll see if they win in the end.
Yeah, I think it's a high chance.
Yeah.
Well, I won't spoil anything for anyone, but I know a thing that happens.
Well, okay. Yeah, so I guess the final thoughts I have would that be we're kind of in the doldrums right now after just finishing the holiday special and reading some. Yeah, the comics are getting better, but they're still pretty forgettable.
Yeah, this is more chore for fun than me so far still.
Yeah, good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. The holiday special is rough, but it's pretty funny to watch, I feel like.
I say that in jest. I'm glad I've consumed everything I have so far.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. But I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if that is genuinely how you felt, because most of it has been rough. But I hope we will have a big swing in the other direction on the next episode when we watch Empire Strikes Back, the big sequel, May 1980 release.
Woo! Vader time.
Hell yeah.
Yoda time.
Yeah.
You excited to watch? I am.
Okay, there we go.
I think I made that joke on like the first episode.
I'm pretty sure my response was about the same too. Yeah, I'm excited for you to see it. I'm always excited to just watch it again myself. I love that movie.
How many times do you think you've seen the second one?
Probably about the same amount as the first one. I would say probably like 20 to 25 times.
Okay, no triple digits yet?
No.
You're young.
Yeah.
You'll get there.
None of them are in the triple digits.
You'll get there, though.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I think I've seen all 6 of the first 6 movies about the same amount as each other.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I've seen them all probably 20 times.
What was I doing with that time? Like, you were watching
man.
those movies.
I mean, that's like days.
Yeah.
Days of my life gone. I definitely watched them like over and over again when I was little. And then just probably like once a year on average after that.
The original trilogy, or you'll...
Probably all 6. Not every year, but on average.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen Phantom Menace, I think 3 times this year.
Is that in the prequels?
Yeah.
Is it the first of the prequels?
It is.
It's weird to hear their names. Like, I feel like people... Maybe because I didn't know enough about Star Wars to actually get into in-depth convos about it, but I feel like I always just hear it abstract as Star Wars, and then either, like, prequels or...
Yeah.
Like, the original or whatever. Like, I never hear the titles. Like, what the heck's the Phantom Menace? What does that mean?
It's a good question.
Is that a ship? Phantom?
It's a really good question. We'll see after you watch the movie if you can tell me what the Phantom Menace is.
All right. I'll have to make my prediction for the second film as well.
Yes, yeah. Prepare that for next time, and we'll read it.
I'll erase what I know about the holiday special in the comics to make this prediction also.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, the only thing that would be canon in the comics. You know, all of it's like somewhat conceivable, but is just that, and this you would assume is happening anyway. Luke is just like training with the Force.
Yeah.
Well, any closing thoughts, or good for now?
Good for now, I think.
All right. Well, we'll meet you back here next time. Thanks for listening, and have a great Happy Life Day.
Happy Life Day, and may the Empire strike back.
Boo! I'm on the side of the rebels.